show women's empowerment, this feminist movement. Is clearly now at the top of the agenda in 2018 for the New World Order. We've seen all this stuff with all of these people who are getting, accused of sexual, who are resigning, who are getting fired, all these men, these white males. The stories are endless. They are carrying on and on and on. I mean, we even saw the owner of a national football team, a billionaire owner, somebody made a sexual harassment accusation against him. Instead of fighting the accusation, instead of trying to prove it never happened, which, should be easy to do in a sense, or even if you are guilty, then maybe you go to court, you pay a fine. The guy decided to sell or to put up the Carolina Panthers football team for sale. Obviously, the guy is a Mason, a part of these secret societies. He's doing what he's asked. He'll still be rewarded with hundreds of billions of dollars because he's a billionaire anyway. But it's certainly funny to see how no men are pushing back against these allegations. They're just going, I don't recall, but if I did, I'm really sorry. That is because this is part of this women's empowerment movement. Now, I was going to do these as two separate videos, but I might as well combine them just to save people the trouble having to watch multiple videos. I want to start with Jay-Z. Jay-Z has this video, Family Feud, just more propaganda and crap that comes out of this guy's mouth. I can't believe anybody even listens to this guy. I mean, the stuff in the lyrics, you think this guy was some type of amazing poet where people would say, wow, how inspirational. The same stuff, effing this, effing that, doing cocaine, no such thing as an ugly billionaire. And people are just so dumbed down. They listen to this stuff and they're like, whoa, yeah, he's the best lyricist. I mean, just from that standpoint. But let's get into the symbolism of this video he's got, Family Feud. Because they're showing you the future, what is planned for the future. And this is going to make some people out there absolutely just shake their head. It starts off, he says, they put a quote from a guy named James Baldwin. The wretched of the earth do not decide to become extinct. They resolve, on the contrary, to multiply. Life is their weapon against life. Life is all that they have. Well, that's exactly right. How poetic. That is poetic. That is in there. Because that tells you exactly what the New World Order, these Freemasons, these Satanists are all about. They don't want to die. Life is all they have because they don't have everlasting life. They have nothing. They have eternity in hellfire. They'll be rolling around in feces down in hell. So what they do with this and have created this transhumanism and all this stuff is the belief that they've created in their minds that they are going to be infinite, that they're going to live forever, and that they need to fight against Father, right? Our Father in heaven, fighting against Father Time, so to speak, and their weapon is their life. That's the life. So life is their weapon against life, right? So they take you on this quick little tale, which is like the new thing for these music videos. They're 10-minute ridiculous movies, but put with more propaganda in it. You get a brother and a sister fighting over who's going to be in charge of quote unquote the family. You can see a robe of roses in the background in the fireplace. How convenient. One guy murders the other, and then, of course, the woman ends up murdering the man. The woman has an outfit on with the shape, you can see almost a cross in what she's wearing. But she kills this guy to be the head of the family, and then we just get a rollout of women's empowerment. We have a conversation between a Mr. President and a Mrs. President, showing you in the future that there might actually be a Mrs. President along with a Mr. President working together, or some type of bizarre thing that they have planned. This woman's got all this freakish tattoos on her face. It's clearly a demon, which is just, I mean, it's mind-blowing. But this is where it gets real funny. We get them talking about how they've been fighting to protect all of us. And we get this guy who, even has a pigment eye. Does that sound familiar, right? And you can see on his back, he's got the spiral symbol, the symbol I've exposed many times. This is a witchcraft symbol. You've also seen this symbol obviously involved in pedophilia. And then right on the front, you can see the blatantly obvious 666 right on his coat. Right there, 666. And they're looking in what? They're looking in one of these crystal balls. That's how they're seeing what's going on around the world. And then they're going to stop anybody that fights against the system. Does that sound familiar? They take you on this little lesson of how they built this new world and how they went to war. Of course, they have symbolism with the horse, but instead of it being, the apocalypse with a horse, it's a robotic, some type of artificial intelligence horse, and somebody, of course, is waving a white flag. But this is really where it's laughable. I wish I could play the scene, but obviously I can't for copyright reasons. But you got a table with all these women, and they tell you that a group of women from all walks of life revived the Constitution. In essence, saved the world from what was going on. They revived the Constitution, and then they're talking about all this stuff like guns, and they're saying, well, some people should be allowed to have guns. I wonder which ones would be allowed to have guns, right? And all these stupid women, because these are all these Hollywood stars who are in this video. You'll be familiar with all their faces. I don't know their names for the most part, but I've seen all these people somewhere at some point in time. They're sitting there and they're talking about the new Constitution because these women have revived the Constitution. And I believe this is in the year 2050, so this is what is to come in the future, right? Because we know that they're going to revive the Constitution. They've already taken away free speech, right? I can't say what I want to say. And you know that they want to take away your guns, so they're going to do this stuff. They're going to limit it. Free speech is now, okay, it exists, but there's a thing called hate speech, so you can't speak against certain things, right? Gun laws. Well, we know they're not going to be able to get everybody's guns, but they're going to say, well, certain people shouldn't be allowed to have guns. I wonder which people those will be. And these women just go on and on, rambling like morons about their new Constitution. Then we finally get to Jay-Z's song. And how fitting that it's inside of a church. Looks like some type of Catholic cathedral. And Jay-Z's rapping about cocaine. And then we get to see the Wicked Witch herself, Beyonce, of course, wearing black and white clothing, because, I mean, how many times do I need to point it out? Her Masonic clothing, or esoteric duality that these people are all about, they're both wearing black and white. Now, you can say, well, Jay-Z's wearing a black suit with a white shirt underneath and a white tie. That's not so suspicious. It's pretty obvious they're both wearing black and white deliberately. They're talking about the family, and then, of course, Beyonce turns into all dark, all black clothing. And, of course, it wouldn't be a Jay-Z or Beyonce production without the all-seeing eye symbolism, as you see this demon Beyonce holding the two fingers over her eyes, doing the all-seeing eye. And they go on and on, pretty much just mocking Christians, standing in front of, the cross and everything inside the church, which is just basic of what they do, letting you know, like, that this is going to be crumbling, that they're going to destroy Christianity. Not that this church, this cathedral represents Christians, but they're using it to represent Christians in this video. That's what it's there for, right? So people can see that. They're not going to just come out and say, oh, because I know people will comment, they'll go, well, that doesn't represent Christianity because there's a white Jesus and there's the picture of Jesus on the wall depicted is not the real Jesus, and a church doesn't define. Yeah, we all understand that stuff, but the messaging is what matters. What they're trying to tell you, or trying to tell the common people out there through these symbols. So, just more crap, of course, from Jay-Z, which, I mean, here's a guy who openly wears a shirt with Aleister Crowley's famous do without will mindset, do without will saying on it. Aleister Crowley was teachings talking about being able to molest children, and the blood of a child is the strongest for black magic. Nobody says boo, nobody thinks it's suspicious, because nobody cares. Nobody cares this day and age. And then, on top of it, with this feminist movement, which I was going to do this in a different video, but I'll just include it here so you can see the ridiculousness of it and how this is an agenda they're pushing right now. The Golden Globe Awards, which, I mean, does anybody care? I know nobody else in this channel cares. It's sad if people out there are spending their weekend planned around the Golden Globes. They really need to get a life. But the Golden Globe headlines are the anti-harassment accessory you'll see on the red carpet at the Golden Globes. And what is it? It's a pin that everybody's wearing that says, "Time's up." Huh? Time's up. What do you mean, time's up? Wonder what they're hinting at there. Of course the pin is black and white. What other colors would it be? It says, along with seeing celebrities wearing black at Sunday's Golden Globe Awards, some men and women will be donning an accessory with a timely meaning. Time's Up, Hollywood's newly launched anti-sexual harassment and assault initiative, has unveiled a pin with a black and white logo. What a surprise, black and white. Reese Witherspoon is among those who spearheaded the project. She enlisted the help of, who cares? Okay, I'm not even gonna get it. Ooh, look, she hired somebody. I mean, look at it. How do you not see what they're doing here? With this sexual harassment stuff, I pointed this out many, many times. All of these men are taking the fall. That is what happens in the brotherhood. You are asked to take the fall, you take the fall. They still got their millions. They still got everything else. They don't care if they're smeared publicly because they think of us as crap. They look at us as garbage. Amongst each other, nobody's looking at Kevin Spacey any different because they all do the same stuff. They're all involved in pedophilia and all this crap. They could care less. So they don't care if they're slandered in the eyes of us. It's to get the agenda across because their ultimate goal is to build this new world order. So these celebrities are going to be wearing a pin that says "Time's Up," which, I mean, how does that make sense? Other than, us knowing, well, yeah, they're telling us that time's up for us, that this new world order is getting ushered in. But in reality, time's up for them. Because the second the trumpet sounds, I mean, these people are going to be beheaded faster than you could say, huh? It's going to happen quick. But this feminist movement, this the sexual harassment movement, and all these men no one's fighting back. Nobody's saying this never happened. There's no evidence. There's no proof. There's no police reports, by the way. I mean, this shows you how dumb society is, right? Like, somebody could just call and say, or whatever, and say, me or you, we sexually harassed. We'd be like, no, I didn't. I'm like, yeah, you did. And you say, where's the proof? You did it. Oh, okay, I did? I mean, what? What is, like, where's the police report? Where's the evidence? There isn't any. But you get a guy who owns the Carolina Panthers, who's worth $1 billion or whatever, a couple $1 billion. He's just selling his team because somebody accused him of sexual harassment. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, he's not taking a bullet for them, doing what they tell him. He's 80-something years old. He'd care less. You do what you're told. You take your orders. But this movement is about restriction. This is about limitation. It's about taking away rights, taking away free speech. It's also about giving more control to the government. Remember I talked about 1984 and about how they had to even sneak out to be around or to be with somebody they love. I mean, there's so much crap that's behind this agenda. It's unbelievable. But women's empowerment, the continual removal of rights. So you got Jay-Z pushing women's empowerment, the women reviving the Constitution, which is just, it's laughable, but it's also scary because if that day does happen, if women revive the Constitution, I mean, oh my gosh, I mean, it's nothing against women at all. I mean, it's about this movement. It's about how ridiculous this stuff is. Right? Pretty sure the Constitution, the way it's been set up, has worked out pretty well. All of a sudden, it's not working out well because they're telling you that white people and black people don't like each other and that guys are standing on top of casinos shooting into concerts. Give me a break. Because they don't want people like me trying to protect 10-year-olds from becoming drag queens, so they don't want me to speak. I mean, these people are pathetic, but they're scared and they're backed into a corner. Like I said, all they can do with somebody like me is what? Keep deleting my YouTube channel. The biggest mistake they made the first time is deleting my first one. They continue this route. I will go public. I'm not afraid to show my face. I made it clear why I do this the way I do it. I do 2 to 3 videos a day. I don't got time, to comb my hair, to turn the camera on, I don't know how to act into a camera, do all this stuff, to be comfortable doing that. I have a routine that I'm in. Nobody would be saying boo if I had 100 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers that I don't show my face. But clearly all these people are obsessed with me and want to see what I look like because they think I have some type of criminal record and that I've murdered people or something. Who knows what they think. But I'll come out and show myself, because that'll be the worst thing the New World Order ever does. They keep deleting my channels and stuff like that. Then I'll go public. I'll show my face. I'll try to get on these shows like these other losers, like the Siemens of the world do, and do nothing and try to promote themselves. See, I'm not about promoting myself. I'm about exposing these scumbags. But if they want a war with me, they'll get one. I can and would start an uprising. I'll wake up more people than they could possibly imagine. So it'd be best to leave me be. But I ain't going nowhere until my head is cut off. Unless, of course, we see women reviving the Constitution, because then I might cut my own head off. Okay, that's a joke. But this is just more of the same, folks. So time's up. You get your black and white symbolism there. You get Jay-Z pushing all this stuff. This is the world that we live in. This is an agenda. It's clear it's an agenda. For people not to be able to see it, it baffles my mind. It baffles my mind. But yet people don't see it. They're all caught up in this stuff. Oh, these men are perverts. Oh, so all of a sudden out of nowhere, men are perverts. Meanwhile, women are walking around butt naked. Most of these women, these celebrities are sitting on magazine covers with their legs spread wearing no clothing. I mean, what do they think? What are they trying to even incite out of people then? Oh, well, that's art. That's beauty. The woman naked in her underwear. My head's going to explode from the hypocrisy and the retardation of all of it. It's ridiculous. I thank everybody for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.